good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Everybody, give yourselves a round of applause as you all come on in here. Let the music play a little bit. So this is the week of Christmas. This Monday, December 20th, 2021. Got to be 22. Getting ahead of myself. You know, that can only mean one thing. I've been drinking, right? So, all right then. But what is going on, people? Shout out to you as we jump back over here to do a little OBS or whatever you want to call it, Streamlabs. I think it's Streamlabs. Yeah. We were on StreamYards the other day. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that came by, left comments and things like that. And shout out to BitCloud Gaming with IGN now, and he's got a huge announcement to make this morning, and so we're standing by for that. We're also on standby to hear, as you can see, the breaking news from Sony and Marvel, as Sony is looking to take down Infinity War for best domestic box office opening record for Spider-Man No Way Home, or Can't Go Home, or, you know, Where's My Home, No Place Like Home, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, go. And if you have not seen it, we will be talking about it. There'll be spoilers. So if you've seen it and you want to ask a question about it, I've got like 6 or 7 questions here that people did ask about it. So we're going to go over those. We're going to go over things that had been discussed years ago that were just theories, and the things that had just been talked about that did turn out to be true in it. So yeah, shout out. Kick up, go get yourself a drink, go kiss your mama. We'll be starting here in about 30 more seconds. Alrighty. We are back. So welcome. We got some topics to go over. The Spider-Man news is the big news. It totally smashed every estimate known. To put it like this, the people that said it was going to make between 180 and 200, we looked at them like they were nuts. Like, we were like, yeah, not with the pandemic. And you got to remember, this movie did not open at all in China at all. The new estimate is that had it opened in China, where it says up here at the top, where it says the breaking news, or it says amazing 587, that's without China. If China is included in that, you can add another 65 to 85 million for that. So you're looking at over 600. I mean, they didn't have China, but you're looking at over 620 million opening, which would have been, I think, worldwide, it may have been bigger than Infinity, than Endgame, which I didn't think anything would threaten. I didn't think anything would get close to Infinity War. But this movie did what I did not think it could do. If you've watched all the Spider-Man movies, the ones with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, the Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire, and understand the older people, the people that, you know, were here in 2002 and 2004, whenever the first Spider-Man came out, we're big Tobey Maguire fans. We always will be. You know, he will always be our favorite Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 was my second favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. Into the Spider-Verse was number 1. And I don't care if it was animated, it was still a very good Spider-Man movie. Into the Spider-Verse is still number 1, but this new Spider-Man is number 2, hands down. It knocked Spider-Man 2 out. I'm talking about the one with Tobey Maguire. So you have the Spider-Man movie. When I say Spider-Man, I am talking about Tobey Maguire. Then you have Amazing Spider-Man. That was the 2 movies that had Andrew Garfield. Then you have what we call as the MCU Spider-Man, and that's Tom Holland. So what they did, they being Sony and Marvel did, is they brought all of that together so that nobody felt like they were left out. Okay, everybody got to see their favorite Spider-Man. Didn't matter who it was, you got to see him. So, but this thing could knock Infinity War out, and there's gonna be. I'm happy I was wrong. I'll just put it like that. I'm happy I was wrong. So yeah, I was wrong. That this box office coming in like this, and again, we still don't know the actual number, and because they're supposed to announce that, I thought they would have already had it out by now, but maybe they won't announce it till 11 o'clock. But the actual number will come out today, and when it comes out, it wouldn't shock me if this best Infinity War. This was the best live action Spider-Man I've seen, and it was just Tom Holland played it so well, and it was written so good, and man, just everybody did well. Everybody did well. I thought some of the humor didn't land about. For me, it didn't land about 10 to 15% of the time, but hey, 85% of the time it was landing. So I love seeing the old villains. I didn't realize how much I had missed seeing them. Um, it just tons of Easter eggs. If you played the PS4 Spider-Man, where Aunt May worked, Feast, that got canonized. That's now part of Spider-Man. Also, there was another death in the original Spider-Man runs. Uncle Ben died, and this Spider-Man, Aunt May died. Aunt May was the one, or quote unquote hot Aunt May. She was the one who told Peter, with great power comes a great responsibility. And the same thing that's on her grave, her tombstone in the PS4 video game, is now on the tombstone in the movies. That's canon. Okay, that is canon. So for the MCU, okay, so it is what it is. So they did look at some of the things that were in the video game that Insomniac had, and they went with them. They canonized them. They canonized Feast. They canonized and they canonized Aunt May dying, because she died in didn't she die in the PS4 video game? Yeah, she dies. So that's the canon they use. So there were 3 things in the video now, and also the apartment that Spider-Man is in the end. When he is moving in, look at his apartment. If you go back and watch it again, look at the apartment. That apartment is arranged the same way the one in the video game is. It's the exact same arrangement. The stove is in the same place. The cabinets are in the same place. Even the window he leaves in, even the window he jumps out of, is in the same place. The device that he has to track the police, same device. So again, I want to give a big shout out to Sony. I want to give a big shout out to Insomniac Games. I never thought I would see something in a video game get canonized in a movie it's on its way to making $1 billion. I'm not saying it's gonna make $1 billion. I'm just saying it's on its way to making $1 billion. Okay, this movie made in one weekend worldwide what Venom couldn't do. It took Venom almost 10 weeks to make this kind of money. I'm talking about the original Venom, the one that everybody said was really. I didn't care for it. I've watched it twice. I did like the fact that it had a real long tongue. But again, yes, we'll get to your questions. We're going to talk about the Forspoken quote controversy that does not exist, because it doesn't exist. But before we do that, go ahead and share the video on out if you all don't mind. Let's go ahead and get the likes up as well. Yeah. So yeah, it was it was packed. I saw it Thursday night. All right, so here's the way it was for me. I saw a press briefing of it on the 13th. I then went back on the 16th and watched it. Then I went back on the 17th and watched it. And I very well may go watch it again. But I doubt it. I may give it till, sometime after Christmas. But It just the movie had everything in it that you wanted. It is broken records. It is smashed records. Forget about breaking them. It smashed them. It's like that thing that's chasing me in Resident Evil 2. Some dude with a black hat and a black trench coat is chasing me around. Okay, no matter where I go, it comes through the wall. Like it ain't coming through the door like a normal person. It's like coming through your land like your neighborhood Spiderman. You know. I mean, just and then it makes this stupid noise, and I don't know why it's chasing me because I ain't got no 52 CUs. I don't have no 12 T flops. I don't have that. Okay, I got no ray tracing, and I keep saying, "Why are you chasing me?" And even though I break line of sight, it still follows me. Like it is still following me. Like, how does this thing even know where I am? Like, I mean, I'm just like, oh, you know. Like, how does this know? How does this know where I am? But anyway, so hey, does anybody know how to stop this thing? Because I'll be getting stuff, and, you know, I'm trying to move stuff around, and then all of a sudden you just hear these footsteps. I'm like, well, I know that's not me moving. And then I kind of look up, and that thing is just coming right at me. So I even shot the hat off. It put its hat back on. It like went down to one knee and put its hat back on. Oh my goodness. So, but shout out to everybody that's here. I see you, Grudia. How you doing, brother? Chris B, a pleasure. Always a pleasure. So what is going on there? Let's shout out to everybody that's here that's in green. If you want to become a member, please go ahead and member up before the year ends. Why don't you do that? Do yourself a favor and member on up and become part of the Porch Light Posse. I like to call it. And again, the Porch Light Posse will get its own t-shirt for free. You will have to pay for shipping. And it's one size fits all. So hopefully it's going to be a double XL shirt. So, and we'll get that out to you guys. I just need one more member. Once I get one more member, we'll ship them out. So, but you'll have to, I'll just announce we've hit the member goal, which is one more. Then you'll have to give me your address and I'll ship it to you. You know, you will have to pay for shipping, but the boxing, all that, I'm going to FedEx it to you. So you just let me know, but you will have to pay for shipping. So, matter of fact, you know what? I'll go ahead and pay for shipping because if you're going to member up, that's the least thing I can do. So, again, one more member, and then we will go ahead and get the shirts out, and the shirts will be free for the members. Now, for the rest of you homosexuals, you're going to have to pay for it. So, it's good old-fashioned COB, cash on the barrel here. You will just send it to my PayPal, and then my PayPal will be my PayPal. Then I will get you your shirt. Again, one size fits all. We have 3 colors, red, white, and black. I did not go with blue. So you have red, white, or black. So nice shirt to work out in. It's a, you know, lounge around the house in if you're watching football or you're cleaning or you're, you know, putting your TV set together or you're putting your PC together. Something like that. Something loose fitting, you know, just breathable garment, as my girl would say. They need to be breathable garments because if it's not breathable, people may not like it. All right. She knows about it more than me. So, but all right, she's in charge of all that. She's like in charge of that whole business side of it. So yeah. But so what did you all think of Spider-Man? I personally thought it was the best live action Spider-Man. That's hard for me to say because the Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, for me personally, was my favorite live action Spider-Man. And ain't nothing gonna touch Into the Spider-Verse. So no blue, that's an L. No, blue is the color of the occupier. So no blue. Red, white, and black. So that gets you that matches everything in a guy's guy or gal's wear. You know, you either got, because men have what, like 4 or 5, have like 5 pairs of sweatpants. You got red, you got white, you may have black, you may have blue. I have like nothing blue. I don't even have blue suits. I have either black suits or I've got blue pants. I've got blue slacks or bluish slacks, like that. So, but yeah, just let us know. You'll turn green and we'll get you on out there. So, Eric B says he was surprised how good it was. Exactly. I was too. I was too. So, Donald Montgomery. Okay, what is VAS stack TH? I keep seeing that. What is that? So watch it in 3D. No, so it says, oh, if you haven't seen it yet, you suggest watch it in 3D. Yeah, see, I don't. There's only like 2 3D showings of it in over at my theater where I'm close to. So I don't you know I don't foresee seeing it in 3D. I did see it in XD though, with the sound and the different color palette. Oh, wow. Yeah. So, but what else? So, Electro, that was played by Jamie Foxx. The 2 things they changed. In the Amazing Spider-Man, his lightning or his color was blue or bluish. This one they made him comic book correct. They made it yellow. Okay, which is comic book correct. That's also the same color that he had in the PS4 video game. Again, the color he had in the video game, the yellow, that is comic book correct. So they were already correct on that to change that. So where does this leave us? Well, Jamie Foxx's character Electro had, at least in my theater, I can only speak for my theater, and I've seen it 3 times. Each time Jamie Foxx said that because you're from New York and you're from Queens, I thought you were going to be black. And of course, Andrew Garfield gets it, gets the line, and Andrew Garfield, he delivers it perfectly. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," So, and he says, "No, I always thought," he said, "maybe there is a black Spider-Man out there." Everybody in my theater erupted, like, "Yeah." So yeah, you heard, "Yeah, let's do it." So yes, and guess what? Sony knows that too. So then what I got was an email Saturday morning, 18th, that they are already going to start casting, which are looking for their Miles Morales. They're no longer just talking about it. They're going to actively start seeking casting for Miles Morales, which I've been told that a week and a half ago, but it's so good to see it. What's up, Lincoln Clay, the ageless wonder? Lincoln Clay got his chair together. He looks like a real race car driver in that thing, man. Shout out to Lincoln Clay doing his thing. So I also got my camera hooked up, as you all saw. That was 1080p, but it's my screen is up so high that I'm gonna have to put the camera kind of down next to me, it looks like. But so which is fine. I'm good. I'm fine with that. So, but it's not. I'm not gonna be able to have it up on the top of the monitors. I have to come sit next to Daddy. But yeah. So what else? Well, he teased Miles. Well, not yeah. They did tease it a little bit. So yeah, but they're gonna do it. They're going to do it. They're stupid if they don't do it. Sony ain't stupid. So they're, and again, it's not Marvel that will be doing the casting. It will be Sony. So really want a Jamie Foxx movie with him as Electro. Well, again, they changed it up. I mean, in order to get Jamie Foxx in it, Jamie Foxx was able to make the changes that we saw. Sony and Marvel said, "Okay, yeah, fine. Jamie Foxx has won an Oscar, so of course they're going to say, yeah, okay." That's what's hard to believe. You have Marissa Tomei up there who has won an Oscar. You have Jamie Foxx who has won an Oscar. So. And the fact that they being Marvel and can get Oscar winning people to come in and play characters now, when just when they first started, they were begging people just to come in and read lines. They were offering them lunch and everything. We just want you to come in and read the lines. They couldn't get people to do that. So the one guy that did come in to read and did real well was Robert Downey Jr. But Paramount, who distributed Iron Man, they wanted Tom Cruise. I'm sure you all heard that story. They wanted Tom Cruise to play Iron Man, but Tom Cruise was already filming Mission Impossible 3, and he said he would do the role, but even though he would do the role, he wanted to delay shooting Iron Man, and Jon Favreau, who plays Happy, is like, nah. Jon Favreau is also, the guy that plays Happy is the same guy that writes and directs The Mandalorian. Okay, that's Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau is also the guy who fought to keep Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. That's why Jon Favreau, as far as I'm concerned, he is Mr. MCU. If Jon Favreau doesn't fight to keep Downey in, then we get no MCU, because Tom Cruise probably would not have cared it to tie Iron Man 2 to doing Thor and Captain America. That's how that all went down. So again, if Jon Favreau and Robert don't fight for those roles, we don't get an MCU. We're not here talking about this. There is no WandaVision. There is no Falcon and Winter Soldier. There is no Hawkeye TV show. None of that happened. None of it. Okay, we probably get Iron Man. We get Iron Man 2. We probably didn't get Iron Man 3, and then they ended. But so he directed it as well. Yeah, I think he did. But you got to remember that that when he directed it, they didn't want Downey Jr., and that's why there was such a fight behind the scenes with Paramount pushing Happy out, pushing Favreau out. That's why in Iron Man 3, they wanted to kill him off, but Downey Jr. said no, you can. But they didn't really want him in the movie, so Downey Jr. is like, okay, can he be injured and not able to be in the movie, and they compromised and said, okay, yeah, that's fine. So, but that's how that went down. And also remember, John, if you watch the original Daredevil with where Ben Affleck played Matt Murdock, Happy plays Foggy. Happy, it's hard to try to say that 100 times. Happy plays Foggy Nelson. So again, that's reality. Okay, so everything is tying itself into a bow. They think, and I kid you not, you know we're getting Gore the God Butcher. You know he's coming. Beta Ray Bill is also coming. Do you know who they want to play Beta Ray Bill? It's Ben Affleck. That's who they want to play Beta Ray Bill. Now, let me tell you this right now. That would be effing phenomenal. That would be effing great. I would turn into a giant puddle. I would just be a giant puddle, you know. So, if that happened. Yeah, can you imagine that? You know, 2 former Batmans in the MCU. Also, Jackie Chan is rumored, make that clear, is rumored to be coming into the MCU in the next, as for the next Shang-Chi. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But man, oh man, that would be something else. So, yeah, all right, so we'll talk about that. So one of the theories of Spider-Man after he got doxxed, and this was years ago, is we were like, well, they showed him getting arrested and stuff like that. And one of the things we said years ago was, well, wouldn't it be cool if Matt Murdock was his attorney? And there was like, there's no way, Matt Murdock's on Netflix. They don't even own the character. But we were just theorizing about that. And that's what they did. So you got to remember, in the beginning of the week, Kevin Feige came out and said Charlie Cox, the actor who plays Matt Murdock in the Netflix Daredevil, trying to say that 3 times. Hit that like button, people. This is criminal. I mean, you're getting all this juicy information right now. So hit the like button. This is not, this you can pretend this is the RDX podcast and I'm lying my ass off right now. Go ahead and do that. So Charlie Cox plays Matt Murdock, and that's who the lawyer is for Spider-Man. He's like, and that's who they showed. And so my theater again erupted when they showed that. So, and remember, Kevin Feige, he canonized it. He said, yeah, he's gonna be our Daredevil, and then boom, within 3 days later, we see him in the movie. So canonized. He's now canon. Now, are the events of what he went through going to be canonized? That I don't know, but we just know that he is Daredevil. So, and that's why he was able to catch that brick. People, so that's the answer to that first question. Who was that guy that was their attorney? That's Daredevil. That is the Charlie Cox version, the Netflix version of Daredevil. We got him. Good. I just saw somebody in the chat, 100% correct. Jeff B. Gaming. They already showed Kingpin in Hawkeye. So again, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin from the Daredevil series canonized. Okay, canon. He is canon. So those two guys got canon. We'll have to wait and see if they bring Michael Coulter back for Luke Cage. I'm not saying that they won't. They are going to recast Ben Jones, is that his name? Iron Fist, is, something like that. Whatever his name, the guy who played him, but whatever Iron Fist's name, they got to get a new Iron Fist. That was so trash. Okay, now the girl that played Jessica Jones can keep playing Jessica Jones because that girl was going raw on her show. I mean, she was going raw, breaking the bed and everything. We need more women in the MCU that can break beds, okay? So we need more women, period, that can know how to break a bed, So that's what we need out here. We would not have any incels if these women knew how to make a good steak dinner and could break a bed. There will be no crime. Hawkeye still has 2 more episodes left. So, but yeah, I mean, they're supposed to be. So look at what the MCU. Let's take a step back. The MCU. Doesn't it seem like 100 years ago WandaVision came on? That seems like it was 100 years ago. But this year we've got WandaVision. We got Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We got Loki. We got What If. We're getting, we got Hawkeye. I mean, we got all this stuff. And we're still getting stuff. You got to remember, next year we're getting Ms. Marvel. Okay, that's going to lead into the new movie called The Marvels. So, and the show that did it was Loki. But by then, the plane was already in the air, right? Because WandaVision is like a plane taxiing down the runway. Then Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's like the plane was taking off. And then, man, with Loki, it went to the stratosphere. And then after that, we got What If. We got introduced we got more information on the multiverse to the point where we could sit down. We got Shang-Chi, and they talked about other dimensions in Shang-Chi. Remember, Talos, the land that his mom is from, is interdimensional. So Shang-Chi is he's an interdimensional traveler. He can travel between 2 dimensions. Saw the Sanctum. You saw in Shang-Chi that Abomination was there. We got Black Widow. Okay. We got the Eternals, which I enjoyed. Okay. Let me make this clear. I enjoyed the lore of it more, but I still enjoyed the Eternals because I got sick and tired of people saying that the Incredible Hulk could beat Thanos. And then when you actually see how powerful Thanos' brothers are, Thanos is the son of the Eternal, one of the Eternals. It's what are you talking about? Okay, what are you talking about? Well, Hulk, he could have turned into Red Hulk. Thanos still would have kicked his butt. Okay, I mean, the Hulk by definition is a mutant. He's just a mutant. Thanos is the descendant of an Eternal. Okay, if there are no Eternals, there's no mutants. It's not the other way around. So, but this thing, we had a huge year, like I said. And remember, I said this at the beginning of the year. I said the MCU's about to get turned up and turned on. They're going to spoon feed us. But when they give us our dinner, when they give us our entree, we better get ready to eat. They gave us a porterhouse. They gave us our garlic mashed potatoes. They gave us our mac and cheese. They gave it all to us. They gave us a nice dessert to end the year on with Hawkeye. Hawkeye to me is like the apple pie that's heated up, not too hot, but that apple pie that when you put that little lump of ice cream on there, it doesn't get too cold either. That's the way Hawkeye is for me. We got new characters introduced to us. We got we got Helen Belova introduced to us. We have Kate Bishop being introduced to us. We've seen you're seeing the Young Avengers being put, and shout out to Slow-Mo Backslap, or is it Backslap Slow-Mo? But shout out to Slow-Mo. He is correct. I agree with him 100%. I've said it before. you're seeing the Young Avengers put right in front of you, and you all just don't know it. That's the amazing. We got Wiccan and Speed. We already know they exist, so we're just getting it. And so they're doing, like, for people like me, man, they are going ahead and they are getting us ready. Okay, this is like, you go before. This is like going up to the bar and you get a couple of drinks and some appetizers and stuff like that before you go off on what you're about to do. This is what I'm talking about. So yeah, you got Doctor Strange as well. You have Wanda. So you're getting the Young Avengers, okay? So, but doesn't it feel like 100 years ago that when WandaVision came out? It just does. It feels like that happened 1,000 years ago. For me, we were just watching What If. That's what it feels like for me. We have the nod that there's going to be a black Spider-Man. We even have Amy Pascal saying, yes, doesn't matter Spider-Man if he is in Harlem or if he is in Queens. She has now said that. So we're good. We're good. We're happy over here, But again, Spider-Man No Way Home has broken records. It very well made up in Infinity War, and I never thought that was going to happen. So, but what was the Thunderbolts, we're seeing them. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Again, this all happened so fast that you had to really be paying attention, and now it's right in front of you. You got your Daredevil, you got Kingpin, we're getting Echo, all right? We got Kate Bishop. So we got three new superheroes, all right? We have our new superhero team forming. We have Wiccan and Speed. So there are your Young Avengers. And I still think Miles Morales is going to be the leader. That's just, I got no insider baseball for you on that. That's just what I'm feeling. That's what all this, my 50 years of life experience and 25 years of covering movies and all that kind of stuff, just developing different things, being able to look at the past to have a predictive future or to see the trend. If you're going to have Young Avengers, Miles Morales is younger than Peter Parker. It makes sense because at the end, Mary Jane and Ned went to MIT. Peter Parker had to go get a GED. And but while those kids are at MIT, Peter Parker, I personally believe, will start Parker Industries, and he will hire them as interns. That's what I think is going to happen. And one of his interns is going to be Miles Morales. Now, that's how I think we get Miles introduced. Okay, I think we get Miles introduced on a summer internship at Parker Industries. That's what I think is going to happen. Can't prove it. Got no proof. Okay, but that's just, we're just playing. This is what I'm doing right now. I didn't even realize is the what if. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing right now. But what I just did is something that is done at the comic book stores all the time. You may go to a comic book store and you'll see 2 or 3 people sitting at a table. What they're doing at that table, very good chance if they're not playing Dungeons and Dragons, they're playing what if. If they have comic books out in front of them, they're saying, well, what if this happened? Or what if that happened? And then they'll be taking notes because they may then try to write a story. But there is precedence for Doctor Strange's spell. I think the name of the comic book run was, I don't know if it was Shattered Universe or something, nothing. It was something weird where she forgot him. And then in the comic book, she really doesn't ever remember Peter Parker. But you got to remember, at the end, she still had the Black Dahlia on, and she's probably waking up, putting that on, not understanding why she's putting it on. But that's what I think. That's the way I would introduce Miles. If you all have a different way to introduce him, that is perfectly fine. Mine is that Peter Parker does Parker Industries. He's a young CEO. During the summer, he offers scholarships to high school students, or however you want to put it, and Miles Morales is one of the students. That's the way I think they meet. I still think that Oscorp will come back. Either Oscorp will come back, or the place where Mr. Fantastic works. I can't think of the name from the Fantastic Four. Reed Richards. I mean, maybe Reed Richards is working at Oscorp, and I don't know. He's going to get something. He'll get an internship either at Oscorp or Parker Industries. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. So, but the main thing here is that the fact that Marvel was everything kind of went dark, so to speak, after Endgame. You had all these questions, and but it didn't take Marvel long to get the oil change and get the engine started and get us going again, did it? It did not take them long at all. So they gave us exactly what we needed. It came exactly when we needed it. And shout out to one guy I do listen to, Charlie, Emergency Awesome. Fantastic YouTuber. Go sub to Emergency Awesome. Just wonderful YouTuber. He was right. He was like, Marvel's going to have to get this engine started. But he said months ago, they'll get us there. They'll get us there. It's just, it will take some time to get the engine going. And I was always of the mindset like, nah, we're sitting here hungry. As soon as we start getting our plates, we're going to go. We're going to be ready to go. And that's exactly what we did. I didn't forget about Blade. No, I did not. So, but Blade is going to be part of another part of the Marvel universe with Blade and Moon Knight. They're all going to connect. So that's just, again, let me make this clear. I got no opinion. That's just my opinion. This is just a hypothesis and all this kind of stuff, so we're just having fun with it because everybody's in such a good mood. What kind of a Christmas present did Sony and Marvel give to us? I've never seen everybody so happy before. I mean, people were cheering him. My theater, people were cheering. People were crying. We had it all, okay? I didn't have any popcorn, but we had it all. And I sat there, and I always have said to you guys, when I watch a Marvel movie, I can sit there and I can feel myself smiling when I'm watching the movie. And that's what I was doing. I just sat there and I smiled. So I can't speak for nobody. I have said that I've said it, I'm standing by it. I still think Venom wasn't that good, but I'm willing to work with it, okay? If it's going to get me to the next point, just like I didn't like the first Thor. I thought the first Thor, I could work with it, all right? I did like the first Captain America, but I didn't like either of these Venom movies. But I understand, we got the next big test is Morbius. Is what number will Morbius do? And so will Morbius come in? It has to come in somewhere close. It has to be higher than Venom 2, but not as high as Venom. Okay, because Venom is a bigger known character because of Spiderman. So, but we already know it's gonna be crazy. I mean, there is enough there. Sony did just enough where is that if they don't get another deal with Marvel, they can just do their own thing. But Sony's direct picture leader, whatever he came out and said that they're going to work another deal with Marvel. I mean, look, everybody likes money. There's too much, but look at that money. Look at that. Look at the money. Okay, over close to $600 million in one weekend. So I don't care who you are. You can get all those people in a room when there's that kind of money on the table. And I don't care what kind of ego was there. That is too much money to walk away from. Shout out to Don King. Don King was right. You had the IBF champion. You had the WBA champion. You had the WBC champion. You had a WBO champion. And all these men were running around talking about, I'm the baddest man on the planet. And what he did, Don King went and said, we're going to have a tournament with all your champions and all of your best fighters. And whoever wins the tournament is going to be declared the baddest man on earth and be a unified champion. And Mike Tyson won that. Mike Tyson so Don King got all those people to recognize the other belts is what he did. That's Don King's main accomplishment. He's done other things too, but his main accomplishment was you all now having a unified champion in boxing. You can now have unified championships because of Don King. If you didn't know that, back in the day, there was no unified champion. So again, what Sony has done is we got enough here because Sony can go ahead and do Miles Morales. They can go ahead and do Madam Web. They can go ahead and do Spider-Woman. They can go ahead and do Silk. They can go ahead and do Kraven the Hunter. They can do other Venom movies. They got enough to keep it going if they don't work out another deal with Marvel. But I think they will. They're stupid if they don't. And Marvel is stupid if they don't. So but they'll get it together. They will get it together. So you think they're going to bring Punisher and Ghost Rider back as well? Well, see, Ghost Rider will be part of the whole Moon Knight Blade type thing. That the supernatural stuff they haven't gotten into yet. You know, they've gotten into the interdimensional. They're going to get into the supernatural. You know, remember what Doctor Strange said, you know, he said that where you're at, the sanctum is built on a very old church. Okay? Very old. So there you had that. You also had the theft of Stark Tech. I don't know if you remember the attorney saying that. He told Happy to get a very good lawyer. And then when he caught the brick, he's like, well, I'm a very good lawyer. So I think we're going to see Matt Murdock show up and oh man, we forgot about She-Hulk. Craig, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Craig? What are you thinking? Yeah, we got She-Hulk coming. So I think we'll see Matt Murdock in She-Hulk. I think we'll see him in Armored Wars too. Now, Armored Wars will have Don Cheadle, and he will be the one investigating the theft of Stark Tech. Now, I personally think Sharon Carter is the one doing the stealing. But now if you don't understand who Sharon Carter is, you need to go back and watch your Captain America, 3 Captain America movies. And you have to watch Captain America Civil War. Then you have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's her arc. You know, you'll see. But that's my this is my hypothesis. But let's move it on because we've been here for about almost 40 minutes. I can talk about this stuff like all day. Like all day. I can talk about this stuff all day. But we'll move to our next story. But it looks like you all have been following. I see, yeah, you all brought up the Thunderbolts. Bonvo saying that he's ready for Doctor Strange 2. Absolutely. Eric83. Eric, I need your help, brother. I need your help. I need the Raiders to beat Cleveland today. Can we do that? And you do know if the Raiders beat Cleveland, the Bengals are in first place in the AFC North. So that's why. But I think that game is like at 4 o'clock today or something like that on NFL Network. So I'll be going to a sports bar for that because I don't get NFL Network. I ain't rich like that. So, but that game is huge. So that game is the Bengals will take first place and they have to play the Ravens on the day after Christmas. I think I may come down with swamp fever if I get tickets to that game. So, oh man. They're definitely bringing Young Avengers together with new Hawkeye and Black Widow. Well, I think Kate Bishop will be their new Hawkeye. And Helen Belova will be the new Black Widow. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Well, Thor, I think Thor is going to be in the Guardians movie, and he is going to be, which is finished. If you don't know, they've wrapped Guardians 3. So that's in final edit. But Thor. I see. I still think they're going to run into. I think they may run into Gore the God Butcher, and for that, in that, which I think is going to be played by Christian Bale, and I think that's why Thor's help will be needed. But again, we'll have to wait and see. The main thing is, you know what? You know who's going to be in the theater watching it? Me. I will be there and cheer. Row 14, seat R, popcorn by 7-Up and High C Red Punch mixture 50-50, large butter. J-Dub City talking about, is there too much butter on the popcorn? All right, brother, there ain't never no time when you ain't got enough butter on the popcorn. You know what I'm saying? That's right. I always put the butter on the popcorn. So yeah, we're going to get Iron Heart. We're going to get Iron Lad. All that's coming. So, I think we're set up pretty good. But remember, we still got Miss Marvel. We got Wakanda Forever. That's where we're going to start seeing it's Iron Heart, right? I think that's Shuri. Then they're going to have Shuri be Iron Heart. And I think Iron Lad it's going to be the kid from Iron Man 3 that was getting bullied. The Stark helped. I think that's going to be Iron Lad, but I could have them mixed up. So, yeah, the only person we didn't see from the Sinister Six was who? We didn't see Rhino, and we didn't see Scorpion. So there are your next Spider-Man villains going forward. So we saw the lizard thing. So that was pretty funny. And Dad was like, that's a dinosaur. It's a talking dinosaur. Think we'll have a Sinister Six movie, possibly. I think anything's possible at this point. Yeah, we could get a Spider-Gwen. There's nothing stopping them at this point. That number that Sony's walking around with, damn near 600 million in one weekend, that gives you the license to do everything. So it's just a matter of where Amy Pascal wants to take it. And at this time, I have to trust Amy Pascal because she has delivered with Into the Spider-Verse. She delivered with this. So I'm not going to criticize her at this point. She has won me over to where I will give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay? So now after the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, I was questioning Amy Pascal. But I am now prepared to give her the benefit of the doubt because I can't sit here and say to you with a straight face that she has not delivered because I would be lying. Well, let's move on to the next story, which I found interesting, which is about Forspoken and your Patriots lost to the Colts. Well, that's they got Michael Pittman Jr., man. I mean, have you seen his YouTube channel with his baby mama slash wife or fiance? He got a cute fiance, so I'm rooting for him and his fiance. His fiance is cute. And she got a baby. But yeah, let's see here. So you think they're gonna put champions together? I guess it's possible, Jeff. I think at this point anything's possible. So at this point, I think we'll see it. I'm not gonna say they ain't gonna do it. Not when you come to me with a cat with $600 million talking about, yeah, here's what we made in one weekend. So even if it makes next weekend, if it makes 140 million or 100 million, which, you got the Christmas holiday, kids are out of school for Christmas. They're out. I mean, the movie theaters are going to be packed. So, because everybody's talking about this. So, it's amazing. It is amazing, no pun intended. So I'm very happy with it. So let's talk about the Forspoken BS controversy. I thought I had this pulled up, but obviously I'm a bad host. I got so talking about Spider-Man. Let me show you what the controversy is about Forspoken. There is no controversy about it. Let me show you. Damn it. Well, I just had it up. Nope. I'll find it here. If you're going to call Nightbot moist, it's going to be pissed. Here it is. I found it. So here is your controversy. There it is up on the screen right there. It's not a matter of, oh, this looks silly, this looks dumb. That only came out. People started saying that when Forspoken became a PS5 console exclusive for 2 years. Okay? That's when it became. Now, again, it doesn't say that it may come to PC in 6 months, for all I know. But since Forspoken had another big gameplay reveal at the Game Awards, and more importantly, a release date reveal, one other important piece of info, though, we can extrapolate is from the marketing material, is that Forspoken will be a PS5 console exclusive for 2 years. Okay? piece of promotional material, fine print, points out that console exclusivity period it ends 2 years after release. Wow. So Xbox won't get this game until after May 2024. But that's your controversy. See, as soon as this came out, all of a sudden there was a problem. I mean, so don't think that those two things don't collate together. Okay. Everybody was getting excited about this game. Everybody was starting to talk about this game. Everybody was cool with it. But as soon as it became exclusive, all of a sudden, nope, no. Nah, Sony can't be doing this. So if you're Sony, your next 3 months, and let me make this clear, is you'll get the Uncharted remaster with the Lost Legacy bundle, whatever you want to call that. Go get that. You'll have all the bells and whistles, 60 frames per second, 120 FPS per second, whatever you want to call it. You'll get all that high to ultra graphics. You'll get the 3D audio. Oh, let me tell you about the 3D audio. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. That's in January. Then in February, you will get, as of right now, Horizon Forbidden West, which again is going to take advantage of the haptic feedback, which is going to have a ultra, sounds like it's going to be 4K. It's going to have ultra graphics and 60 frames per second. I don't know about the resolution yet, but it sounds like it's going to be ultra graphics, things like that. And you can clearly see the difference. Shout out to I think maybe it was Salty. I think it was the Salty Gamer that put up a side-by-side picture. I'm like, oh, you can clearly see the PS5 version versus the PS4 version because the assets look better. But and then you're gonna have in March you're gonna have Gran Turismo. Okay, so you got something for everybody. Now, if you don't want to play Forbidden West, you can play something called Elden Ring or Elder Ring, whatever the ring is. You can play that. That is in February, as well. You've got Atchu or Sifu, I'm sorry. That's coming out late February, early March, somewhere like that. Then you can take a break and then you get Forspoken that right now is scheduled to be out in May. All right. Then of course you're gonna have your MLB The Show and all that kind of stuff come out, and then you'll have some other stupid shooter that comes out. And then now look, I'm excited for PlayStation for the next 90 days. I should have put 100 days or something like that, or 120 days up there, but because there's at least 5 games. I mean, you've got the Uncharted 1 and 2, the Uncharted games coming out. That's 2 games. You got Horizon, that's 3 games. You got Elder Ring, that's 4 games. You got Gran Turismo, that's 5. You got Sifu, that's 6. That's 6. That's a lot of chicken wings I could have eaten. Okay, that's a lot of wangs that I'm missing out on. All right. Then you wait a month and you have Forspoken in May, and like I said, that's a lot. That's a lot. Now for Xbox, I'm excited for them too. I'm sure we'll get more Hellblade gameplay. I would like to see some Fable gameplay. I'm a Fable fan. Okay, I would like to see some Perfect Dark. People keep forgetting about that. I think Perfect Dark has the chance to be real good. I think they get Redfall that's coming out, which doesn't look interesting to me, but so be it. They have Stalker 2, which is, I think, a 30-day or it's a 3-month exclusive. So it's not like they don't have games coming out. They're going to have Forza Motorsports. Again, that's what they're going. I mean, I don't. And Elden Ring will be on the Xbox if that's what you have. So again, I don't. But I'm done with the whole comparison, the quality comparison. The quality's not even close. The quality's not even close. So, so to me, I'm done with the well, it needs to be doing this, it's got to be doing that, and all that kind of stuff. It's just too much BS. Too much BS. But there is no Forspoken controversy. The controversy is the 2-year exclusivity. And you had guys like, oh no, it's Alex, immediately start bitching and stuff like that. Started complaining, saying, this ain't right, and it ain't fair, and you know, oh, there's an issue, and you know, just stuff like that. You know, they just you think Square will fix the frame rate? Yes, all that will be fixed. I mean, good grief, they showed an early build. You know, it's not like the game went gold and is coming out tomorrow. So, you know, so yeah, yep. Sony is crushing it. Paul Game, 100% correct. They are crushing it. Oh, so, but that is your year next year. Now, what games are you looking forward to? So I gave you mine. You know, so you've got 5 to 6 games coming out on PlayStation in 90 days. People got to remember this is where this is Christmas week. You know, Uncharted comes out in a few weeks. God of War will be on PC in like 2 more weeks. I think God of War is on PC. So again, and again, I don't have an issue with it because I don't have an issue with it because God of War came out in 2018. So so I don't have an issue with it being on PC because if you haven't played it by now, you ain't gonna never play it. You know, you'll never play it. So, oh, well, Lincoln Clay just updated. Shout out to Lincoln Clay. Gran Turismo 7 will include 420 car models and 90 tracks. Wow. Wow. So I'm trying to find this story that I saw earlier on Twitter. Shout out to Dewan T. He says he is he's looking forward to Moon Knight on Disney Plus. So am I. So am I. Let's see. Oh man. Read all those. Oh, they don't have the story up here no more. I apologize. I thought that this story. All right, so I don't see the story. So let me tell you about this thing I got into. I'm trying to put this up on this. All right, let me show you all. These guys on the 18th. We're still talking about Dolby Atmos versus 3D spatial sound. Now, everybody, look, I played drums in a band. I still play drums. I've worked in music studios. I've worked in movie houses, big movie houses. Dolby Atmos. And I specifically said, I put down, here, let me put it on the screen here. Bad host. All right. How am I putting this up? Because this is my Twitter right here. So let me go over here. So somebody named Nick said, today I learned people think 3D audio is exclusive to PS5. LOL. Hell, Xbox One even has one. And then somebody else put down, and I'll just put down what I put. I just put down 3D audio being pushed is much better than what's on Xbox through headsets. Xbox has a slight advantage with Atmos for bigger rooms, which is the truth. Okay? When you go to a movie, like I just went and saw Spiderman in THX sound. That is Skywalker sound, Dolby Atmos sound. Fantastic. And if you have a chance to go to a Dolby theater, go to a Dolby theater. Okay? So the dude comes back, somebody comes back, and these are Xbots, by the way, says, nah, dude, try Atmos with headphones. You know, I already have that. You know, it says it's so freaking crisp. Forza Horizon 5 has the most amazing audio I've ever experienced in a game. Now, this right here is his opinion. And I put yes all around. 3D audio, however, actually tracks where the sound is. So if something is behind you, it actually tracks correctly. 3D spatial is how we hear in real life. Atmos, short for atmosphere, however, in theaters is a monster, it's a beast. And these are my words. So I saw Spider-Man in THX sound, I put Skywalker, it was fantastic. Now the dude says I always simp for PS5. Now he put simp, that should be a capital S, by the way, because it's a proper noun. So it shows you how much he knows. Then he puts down Atmos is way better than what PS5 got going on. There's no way to see the other way around. And let me pull my screen down over here in case we went past it. All right, so we were just right there. All right, let me go back over here. So I just literally said Atmos, by definition, is better in large rooms, like a theater, or if you have a theater room in your house. So people would always say, I mean, I bought this house, it's got a theater room in there, okay? And of course you want Dolby Atmos in your room, you know, in that room. If I put Sony is an audio visual company, there is nothing Microsoft has out that will trump them, and they don't, not with audio. Okay, they will never out Trump an audio company. Okay. Let's see here. Then somebody named Snow. Well, just figure that out on your own. Atmos is Dolby, not Microsoft. And yes, Sony is an audio visual company, but so is Dolby. Also, Atmos is better with large room setup. So he's agreeing. But it also but it is also, is what he should have put, amazing with headphones. And it is, okay? As Dolby, again, that should be a capital D because it is a proper noun. Atmos has a headphone option which track the sound around you and is really good for shooters. I put down again, Dolby's home is once again in theaters and home theater sound. 3D audio maps the way we hear. You have 3 bones in your ear. In case you didn't know that, you do have 3 bones in your ear. They all specialize in mapping sounds, and spatial sounds mimic that. Dolby, yes, is better for big rooms, home theater, etc. I mean, so that's it. It's just kind of like, that to me is the end of this. But then he comes back because, he likes his butter biscuits. He likes his butter biscuits. And we'll keep on going here. And he comes back. Yes, but Dolby Atmos for headphones has a spatial sound setting, which is amazing. They may be better with big room setups, but it doesn't mean their spatial sound in headphones is worse than Sony's. That's all I'm saying. And I just literally put down, yes, it does. Simply because it's not the main focus. Atmos is short for atmosphere. Strength in Atmos is in a theater, movie, or home theater. 3D spatial, again, is much better on the headphones. Always has been. That's the truth, okay? But says, look, I told him, look, man, I'm in the medical field and I have worked as a drummer. I know what I'm talking about. So he comes back with, okay, I agree with every single point made except for Sony being better. And there's your point. There's their issue. There's their issue. That is their issue at this point. It is not my issue. They don't like the fact that Sony's stuff is better. They can't accept it. They are literally trying to say that a software company makes better audio visual hardware. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And if that were true, and I almost came back and said, if their audio and visual was so good, talk about Microsoft, then why don't they have any games through their first party studios that actually have hardware-based ray tracing, which is visual, and ray tracing sounds? Now, I did find out that Forza Horizon has ray tracing sounds. And this one guy said, well, it does have ray tracing in picture mode. I'm like, no. Game mode. Okay. They don't have nothing in game mode. I mean, I have that with my Xbox. I've got Insomniac that has Ratchet and Clank that has ray tracing. Spiderman has ray tracing. I already have it. So, saying that it's better, Xbox is better, it's not accurate. Yeah, Paul, you're right. You're right. audio, no, yeah. Let's see here. They're arguing for the sake of arguing. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Surround sound was so loud and crisp in your ears, actually ringing hours after you left. If it's ringing, that's probably a little too loud. That's theater sound. Yeah, I agree. Look, Dolby surround sound is you can't. A friend of mine, he's a good dude, engineer. Dan's an engineer, has a house with theater sound. I mean, I was shopping with him at Barney Miller's when he bought his surround sound. He's got one of the best surround sounds arguably in my damn city. Okay, but he paid the cost to be the boss. He paid a lot of money. And he's got the theater seating. Let me make this clear. He's got theater seating. You know, he's got the big 65-inch CX television set in his theater. He's got Atmos in it. He's talking about this year, or next year, I should say, putting speakers underneath or behind the chairs to give you. So it's just the dude. He's a sound man. I mean, he's man. He's the man. You know. So I give credit where credit is due. These guys, yeah, I agree. They're just arguing for argument's sakes. You know. And his sound is subjective. No, not the way sound is presented to you. That's factual. Now, you could prefer Dolby. If the guy just came out and said, look, I prefer Dolby to spatial, that would have been the end of it as well. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's your opinion. If that's I'm sorry, that's your preference, that's fine. I mean, if you want to say you prefer Dolby to spatial, that's fine. But if I am gaming in a room, I would prefer Dolby Atmos as well. If I'm gaming through headsets, I'm going for spatial sound. Now, this doesn't mean, and the guy was like, well, it has a mode on there that does it. Yes, which makes it secondary, which means that's not what it specializes in, which means it's not as good. It is what it is. Okay. It's like going to a track and you put regular tires on your car. You can race in that car, but don't be upset when the cars that actually have slicks on them run better, even though your car may have more, horse. It's just getting to a point where they're just trying to find something that they can hang their hats on that's better on Xbox. Look, ain't nothing better on Xbox. I mean, it's just not. It doesn't mean that the Xbox isn't good. This means it's not as good. Like a friend of mine told me, man, he just shout out to my boy William Hyde. William Hyde was like, man, look, he's got both. He's like, man, I got an Xbox and I've got a PlayStation. He said, my PlayStation is not my Xbox. He said, if I want to do some hardcore gaming, I will play on my PlayStation. He said, but if I want to jump online with my friends and call in the B2 and get one man army, I'm gonna game on my Xbox. I mean, that's fine. They have grown up in an era where gaming is social. It is socially accepted. Most people grew up that are older than you. We grew up, gaming was not socially accepted. Okay, it was considered something only geeks and lames did. Now, I don't do the Dungeons and Dragons thing. Just like the people that play Dungeons and Dragons and all that stuff, they're serious about that stuff. I mean, that's way over my head. I mean, like, man, what are y'all doing? I do not understand that. But they have all kind of card games and Magic and all that stuff. I mean, there are some hardcore players around this planet. But and at the end of the day, there's just a group of people that are just like Paul said, they're just arguing to be arguing. I don't get it at this point. I mean, it's not even fun anymore. You all got lied to not about the specs of the Xbox, but about the capabilities of the Xbox. Now, I do agree 100% with Big Cloud. Shout out to Big Cloud Gaming. I had him on here the other day. That both the PlayStation and the Xbox have provided developers something for them to grow into versus something that they're already getting, saying, oh, well, this is already behind us. Okay. you know, PlayStation did a very good job with having that the ability to stream data. Okay, you know, the ability to stream data, which I'm excited about at this point. But and Microsoft went old school and said we're going to brute force it and go with pixels and shadows and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong; they both work. So yeah, I mean, well, hell, Paul, our parents would probably tell us we still didn't amount to anything, right? So, you know, hell, my aunt says I'm not worth you know what. So that's just my aunt being my aunt. But yeah, now these guys have grown up though, Paul, where the gaming is actually a social. They're all doing it, and whether they're playing Candy Crush, they're playing Pokemon, or they're playing Uncharted. It's now an acceptable behavior, you know. So I look at some couples online, and if you all want to see some funny YouTube videos, type in gaming with girls prank, and you'll see these guys pretending to play with girls, and the girls are getting their girlfriends are getting upset, like getting really, really upset with them. So, and it's always funny to watch. So, the Ratchet and Clank also has a 40 FPS mode if you're into that. Yeah, again, I never played it at that mode. I think I always played it at when they said we're gonna have a 1440p mode at 60 frames per second with hardware-based ray tracing. That was fine for me because I've sat here, Capono, you know what I've said. My sweet spot is 1440p, 60 frames a second, and anything else that comes with that, that's fine. Okay, I've been consistently saying that for at least 30 months. You know, I don't playing at 4K is fine. My TV is 4K. I got no issue. Okay, but I prefer. Look, my monitor, my computer monitor, my gaming monitor is 1440p. It's not 4K. Okay, I want the frames. You know, my refresh rate goes from 60 all the way up to 165, I think. So again, I do not get into the whole it has to be this, it has to be that. So, but I understand that. So you can actually test sound so it's not completely subjective. Yeah, you go with what sound you prefer. I mean, you're right. You could go to Best Buy. Great point. You can go to Best Buy, and they've got the in their audio section at Best Buy, at least at mine, they've got like 5 different headsets hooked up. And you can listen to an ambulance siren that's coming towards you, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. Then it goes by you, and then it starts to go away from you. And each one of these headsets does it differently. Now, stereo headsets that I listen to music through are not the same headsets I game on because they have 2 different principal functions. All right? They have 2 different principal functions. Just like I've only watched one 4K movie on my PlayStation. I did not buy my PlayStation to watch 4K movies. I have a 4K movie player who specializes in that. Okay? That's I have specialized equipment to do things so I get the most out of it. You know, and I get it. You know, I understand people are like, well, I'd rather just get a device that does it all. And what you're saying is I'd rather get a device that does several things good than one device that does things great. And I totally respect that. All right. But people my age, we get things to do specific things. All right. We want it to do specific things. So, you know, I don't buy bubble gum to have fresh breath. That's what I buy Big Red for. Big Red is not bubble gum. Right? So, but with that said, I am going to get on out of here because it's 11 o'clock and I do want to actually get my day going because I have to work the next 2 days. So if I do not, and I can officially say this is the last podcast before Christmas. Now I may do some game casting on Thursday or Friday, but yeah, Christmas Eve Friday is Friday, so I more than likely will not be on it. I got to work Saturday, Sunday. So I will be watching NFL around 3:45, 4 o'clock. Go Raiders. I certainly hope they pull it out. I'll be definitely going to the sports bar for that. But all right, guys, man, I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out this year. I will try to do a podcast on the 27th, and we will see you guys then. If not, you all be safe. Have a good, safe Christmas. What up to the studio audience? Thank you, my small but nice studio audience that's always been here for me. But I will talk to you all later. Peace out.